the use of drugs affects the behavior and personality of an individual. And it does it actually during intoxication, but also when a person takes them repeatedly, it ultimately can change their personality pretty dramatically. And certain drugs, for example, chronic use of alcohol, can make you much more sensitive to depression or much more sensitive to anxiety, such that when you're not taking the drug, you really feel very, very uncomfortable and very, very edgy. When you take repeatedly marijuana, for example, you may become very indifferent to things around you. You just don't get stimulated or activated by things that are in your surroundings. When you take drugs like stimulants, methamphetamine more than cocaine, but cocaine does that, their use can lead to psychosis, and you can become incredibly paranoid and think that people are after you when there's obviously nothing around, and you can actually start to hallucinate. So drugs can have profound effects on the personality and on the daily experience of an individual. It varies tremendously. Some people are more sensitive than others, and we're trying to investigate why those differences. And it has to do with your age, of course. There are certain ages in which, as we discussed before, your responses are going to be modulated. But it also has to do with your genes. There are just some people that, because of their genetic makeup, are much more sensitive to some of the adverse effects of drugs, like psychosis is one of those ones, where people can take a drug like marijuana and become psychotic, and that psychosis can last long periods of time, and that is apparently an interaction with your genetics.